Sometimes movies are just really horny. That's it. That's the intro. Challengers is a film by Luca Guadagnino and written by Justin Kuritzkes. I believe that's how you pronounce his name. You've probably seen him from one particular video.
You can't handle my strongest potions.
It's a movie that's kind of about tennis, but then also really not. The film is about Art and Patrick, two best friends who've done everything together for their whole lives, that both get interested in one girl, Tashi. She's a young rising tennis player who starts to kind of like pit the two of them against each other. As the film goes on, they kind of compete for her attention. For a while, Patrick dating her, and then Tashi gets injured and she's unable to play tennis at all anymore. And at that point, Art and her kind of start getting closer and they just start falling in love. As time goes on, Art starts to like lose his interest in tennis, he loses his motivation, and Tashi's pretty much using him as a way to live out her dreams. So she signs him up for, some smaller matches to kind of get his energy back up, including one that is the New Rochelle Challenger, which they don't find out until the week of. Patrick will be the opponent. If that sounds like a lot, there's a lot more. There's way more to this movie. There are plenty of turns it takes, and plenty of different situations it puts, the two of them in, I guess all three of them really in. All of those are really frustrating, but in a very good kind of way. Like an uncut gems kind of way, like a really stressful, just watching shit kind of unfold. Art is really the only one you can root for. He's the least shitty out of all of them. He does like a couple things, but compared to what Tashi and Patrick do, he's a saint. The two of them are very manipulative in their own ways, and it's just frustrating to watch, but it's so good. Like I said before, Tashi kind of uses Art as a way to live out her dream of continuing to play tennis, to win awards. And because Art is losing his motivation, it's just a mess. It's just her manipulating him into just keep going and everything.
We can stay here. We can just be rich people. That's all you think you can handle?
It's really interesting and really fucked, honestly. And Patrick just kind of thinks Tashi's obsessed with him and tries to like reconnect multiple times throughout the film over the, I think, I forget how many years it is between. It's a good amount of years. But he still tries to get her away from Art. Now, I could talk about everything about this movie. I think it's a great movie, but there were a couple things that stand out to me. Three specifically: the cinematography, the editing, and the music. So, yes. The directing, the acting, it's all perfect. Obviously without those two elements, the movie would fall flat. You don't need all this like flashy cinematography, editing, all that to make a very good movie, but it just elevates it. It just makes it so much more of a interesting watch. The cinematography is like ridiculously styled and honestly over the top at some points, but it makes this film so much more visually interesting and engaging. It has all these like kinetic shots. The camera just moves all the time when it doesn't need to, but it does, and it creates a lot more tension and energy, and it just keeps you interested in it. The entire movie has so many well-lit shots with fantastic camera moves. It's just kind of it like I said, it keeps you invested and keeps you engaged, and it works with the story. So that's the most important part of it. The editing is very interesting. I'm not the first person to say it, but the whole movie is edited like a tennis match in a way, where the whole film jumps around. It starts off at the last match and then cuts to a little bit before. I don't know why I'm going forward. This is okay. Starts at the last match, goes a little bit before, takes a jump back to the very beginning, jumps forward again, getting closer to the match, jumps back a little bit later on, back again, until it all just comes together. It's very interesting, and it's a movie that could be told linearly like that, but the fact that it's mostly flashbacks while the match is going on is really interesting to me. I think that's a really good move. I thought it helped out a lot. Some people said it was really confusing, but I don't know, I thought it was just keeping the tension. It revealed certain bits of information right when it needed to. I don't know, I thought it just added a lot more of an interesting element to it. It's just fucking satisfying. It's so good. And finally, the music. And since half my videos feature something about 9 Inch Nails, you should know how I feel about the music. It is by Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross, so the two people who are part of 9 Inch Nails. I have a problem. It's fun, it's energetic, the whole thing is very dancey and fun. It builds the tension really well. Two tracks in particular. I think one's called Brutalizer, and then the other one is Challenger's Final Set, because Final Set, ooh. But that is accompanied by my favorite bits of cinematography. It just combines everything that I just talked about, and then with the music just sells everything. It is so good. Yeah, the final sequence is my favorite section of music, editing, cinematography, everything combined. There's fantastic, interesting little shots, and the music, as I've just keep saying over and over again, because I'm just trying to drive in that nail. It just makes everything come together. There's a POV tennis ball shot. There's shots that are underneath the fucking thing. There's so many just over-the-top shots, and everything just works. All these elements really create a very stylish, tense atmosphere that gives you, like, no time to breathe, really. And that's a good thing, because this is a 2-hour and 12-minute movie. I think 12 minute. No, it's 2 hours and 11. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit over 2 hours, and it just breezes by. Like, I can't feel the runtime of this movie very much. Every time I've watched it, I've been put on edge. It doesn't ever, like, loosen its grip. This is my favorite movie of 2024. I've seen it 4 times in theaters. It's probably, honestly, at this point, one of my top, like, 15 movies. It just really impacted me, and I don't know, it just kind of made me love watching movies. Like, it just did something for me. It really worked. It just kind of not reinvented, but like it reinvigorated like what I thought could be possible with a movie. It just needed to exist. I listen to the score frequently, like I said, and I have so many little moments that I think about every day, really. Like, I can't think of a single moment in the past however many months since it came out. Like 8 months? 7 months. 7 months. I'm very smart. It's just a masterclass in like how to make just a very engaging and entertaining film that doesn't feel like anything else I've watched. The closest thing I could think of is like Uncut Gems. But even then, it's still like a very different movie. Just the same feeling, I guess. And it's a movie that's about sports. It's not really about sports at all, but also very much about sports. Very much about tennis, but not about tennis. And that's confusing? Just watch the movie. You'll understand. Everything's about tennis. I don't really know what else to do with this. What do you think of the lights? Alright. Bye.